A bunch of Pokemon GO players are now finally hitting forever friends with a bunch of people on their friends list, and that means they can engage in remote trades. And a critical issue has surfaced regarding this system that definitely needs to get fixed, or else it could be a disaster for Pokemon GO. Alright, how's it going everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So one of the best features that was introduced into Pokemon GO last year is without a doubt remote trading. And alongside it, we saw an update to the friendship system with a new friendship level, which is Forever Friends. If you want to do remote trades with people on your friends list, you need to hit this new friendship level, and it does require an insane amount of work. Basically, in order to hit Forever Friends, you need to hit Best Friends with that friend, which is going to take you about 90 days worth of interactions, and then you need to engage in 90 more days of interactions to go from Best Friends to Forever Friends. But once you reach Forever Friends, you can now do remote trades with that person, and that means you could trade Pokemon regardless of your location or even if both of you are online. It's a really good system, and I thought it was designed really well, and one of the main things about this remote trading feature was that people were now able to finally do some lucky friend trades that they've been holding off on for several years. And I think this is one of the biggest things that players were looking forward to. However, recently there was an issue with the lucky friend system coinciding with remote trades that caused players to not get lucky Pokemon when they do remote trades with a lucky friend. That is extremely critical because this was one of the main reasons players wanted remote trading in the first place. So the fact that you engage in all of that work to get to Forever Friends, then you do remote trades with that friend, and then when you do that remote trade and let's say they are lucky, you're not going to get a lucky Pokemon, and essentially you lose that lucky friend status. And yeah, all those years of trying to hit lucky friends with that particular friend and then doing 90 days worth of interactions in order to get Forever Friends to finish that lucky trade, and then you don't even get a lucky Pokemon at the end of all of that. So I think this is a huge issue. I do not think this was intended. I do know that even in the beginning, Niantic made it very clear that if you do a remote trade with a lucky friend, that Pokemon is supposed to be lucky. So this is something that is a result of them essentially not properly testing this mechanic. And I think this is very critical. On top of that, I think a lot of Pokemon GO players have already given Niantic the reputation that they just do not properly test their features, and this has been evident over a long history of them releasing new features and it getting released extremely buggy. This one, of course, is something that was a bit delayed because we did not have remote trading right in the beginning because we had to hit Forever Friends first. But now that players are hitting Forever Friends, people are now able to do remote trades. And all the issues related to remote trading is now starting to surface. So yeah, this is really unfortunate. I think this is something Niantic could have caught on much earlier, especially if they were properly testing their game. But once again, a lot of different issues have fallen through the cracks, and this is something that I really want Niantic to change because it's just a bad reputation for any game studio to have. But I of course want to give Niantic the benefit of the doubt because, yeah, even though they have this history of releasing new content extremely buggy, they also have been doing a pretty good job of releasing content a little bit more polished as of late. This is one example where they did not do that, but there have certainly been examples of new features getting added into the game, and there really haven't been that many game-breaking issues with those new features. So I think this is just a really big misstep in a time where they are trying to build back a better reputation with the Pokemon GO community. So I think it's quite unfortunate, and it's something that I really do think they could have caught on much earlier. I mean, they should have assumed that a lot of players wanted remote trading specifically for their lucky friends. I mean, even for myself, I have a whole bunch of lucky friends in my friends list, and they've been lucky for pretty much several years. It's mainly because they do not live near me. There's no way for me to actually go to them physically and get those lucky trades done. I have to wait till maybe like a Pokemon Go Fest or a Go Tour where they're actually going to be there. And certainly there have been some lucky friend trades that I was actually able to complete, mainly because of those big events. But aside from that, yeah, I felt like the system was kind of broken originally because there was no remote trading feature. But now that it is in the game, it's the primary reason why I want to level up friendship levels in the first place, because lucky trades are one of the best ways for you to pick up high IV of certain Pokemon, such as shinies. I mean, some of the Shundos and high IV shinies in my collection, they're actually from lucky friend trades. So I really do think this is something Niantic could have avoided. They could have definitely predicted that players would engage in lucky friend trades first, and they should have tested that specifically. Maybe they did, and they just did not notice that this could be an issue. I don't know what the case may be, but again, this is something that could have been preventable, and unfortunately it wasn't, and Niantic is now having to face the consequences of a bad reputation continuing on with the Pokemon Go community. One thing I really would like to see with Niantic as a company, of course we all know Niantic is now currently bought out by Scopely Inc., but regardless, I think the developers need to have a more proactive approach rather than a more reactive approach. It really isn't a good thing that people who live in New Zealand, for example, that they're always seen as like the beta testers. They're the guinea pigs. And for anyone who grinds it out and becomes the first to, let's say, hit level 80 or the first to do remote trades in this current example, like they're seen as the guinea pigs. They're the ones that are kind of like they're the ones that have to experience all the issues so that Niantic is made aware of them, and then the rest of us who are a little bit slower are going to reap the benefits of that. I really do not like the fact that that has been the state of the game for several years. Niantic needs to make sure these issues are not in the game when these new features are released. Otherwise, it's just consistently going to be a thing where players are going to be skeptical, or they're going to be very doubtful anytime Niantic releases something new. And we're in a place right now where Niantic is constantly releasing new things. I mean, in the past 2 years alone, we've seen things like Dynamax battles get added into the game, remote trading, of course, weekly challenges, the new leveling system, a whole bunch of new features, and Pokemon Go has definitely become a better game as a result of all of those new features. But anytime they do release a new feature, it really is a thing where players are just very skeptical on whether or not that feature is going to work as intended. And that's really all Niantic's fault. That's really all on them. You can't blame the players for things being broken in the game, right? Like, that's totally on the developers. And I really hope that with Scopely Inc. as the new publishers for Pokemon Go, they're the ones essentially funding everything that Niantic Games does. And yes, Niantic Games still exists. It's the development studio behind Pokemon Go. They're basically just under new ownership. I really do hope they correct these issues. I really do hope they have a more proactive approach. It's not okay for them to just consistently release new features with a whole bunch of bugs. What really should be the norm and the ideal is that whenever they release new features, it's completely polished, it's completely tested, and everything is okay once it gets released. And yes, I do have a background in game development. About 10 years ago, I was actually working at a game studio as an associate producer, as well as a quality tester. Like, I know these things. I know that anytime a game has a new feature, there's going to be a ton of bugs behind that new feature. That's always been the norm when it comes to game development. I don't think it's ever gotten better. But there are ways you can mitigate that. There are ways you can fix a lot of those issues before release. It really comes down to quality testing, and it really comes down to having really strong developers and people who are just not going to be overly ambitious with the features. You know, cut down here and there if you need to in order to make sure that it's not going to create a whole bunch of bugs and issues for the game as a whole. And I've said this for many times, but I think a successful game studio is one who truly values quality assurance testing. Like, if your QA testers are underpaid and they are not given a lot of resources, then your game is going to be a buggy mess. The quality assurance testers are the ones who are kind of like the first line of defense. They're also the last line of defense, and you really need them, and you need quality testers as well. You don't want to just hire random nobodies to test your games. You want to get people who are very smart, intelligent, very observant. They're also very creative. They can think outside of the box, all that stuff. And yes, you are going to get some really good testing and also a more bug-free game. But let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. What do you feel is going on at Niantic? Do you feel like they need more testing? Do you feel like they have enough testing and they just need better testers? What do you think the case may be? What are your thoughts regarding this particular issue as well? Definitely share all of that in the comments down below, and let's have a great discussion. And also, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and also that subscribe button if it's your first time here, and also turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload videos. And also check out the links in the description below. One of them is to my Patreon page, and I add all of my patrons to my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So if you want to remote raid with me, if you want to work on the friendship levels with me so we can do remote trades, all that stuff, if that interests you, go and check out the links in the description below. And also one of those links is to my Etsy store, which is a thing that I've been doing on the side. If you want to get some cool merch for K-pop and anime, if those are things that interest you, maybe you'll find something you will like on my Etsy store. So go and check that out. And with all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you in the next video. Jinsula.